Showtime. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 27 of the Diversey BW Hotelier GM Show Series, Season 3. I'm Bhuvanesh Khanna, and I'm delighted to host you at yet another insightful session featuring some of the brightest minds in the Indian hospitality industry. Today is Friday, the 21st of February. It's 4 p.m. and we are in Gujarat. Now with the rapidly evolving guest expectations, fluctuating demand, and intense competition, traditional revenue management strategies are being redefined by AI-driven models. AI has come to stay. It is soon going to be second skin, if not already. It enables hotels to optimize room pricing dynamically, anticipate demand patterns, and it also enhances profitability like never before. To dive deeper into this fascinating topic, I'm pleased to introduce our esteemed moderator, Mr. Panditha Lahari Srinivas. He's the Area Director Operations for Gujarat for IHCL, and he's also the General Manager for the Taj Skyline in Ahmedabad. Welcome to the show, Srinivas, like I always call you.
Thank you, Mr. Khanna. Thank you. This is my second consecutive show with you. I'm happy to be here, and also thank you for giving me this opportunity to moderate this show for you.
The honor is ours. The pleasure is ours. It'll soon be your show, but let me do some introductions with your permission.
Sure, sir.
All right. Our first speaker for the day is Mr. Kamaljit Singh. He's the General Manager of the Hyatt in Ahmedabad. Welcome to the show, Kamal.
Hi, sir. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's a pleasure. The topic is so close to every one of us today, and I'm happy to share some of my thoughts also.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Next in is somebody who I've known for the longest amongst all the speakers here, Prashant Chadha. He's the General Manager of the Courtyard by Marriott in Ahmedabad. Welcome to the show, Prashant.
Thank you, Bhuvanesh. Thank you. Such an honor and pleasure to be here and to be speaking on the topic which is really relevant today on artificial intelligence in revenue, and with my colleagues in Ahmedabad. We have a lot of fun together on this topic. Let's hope that the evening goes well.
Absolutely will. Thank you for being here, Prashant. Next in is another Ahmedabad lad, Saurabh Bhatnagar. He's the General Manager of the Radisson Blue Hotel in Ahmedabad. Welcome to the show, Saurabh.
Thank you, Mr. Khanna, and good evening to everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to share this platform with some of the good friends and mentors I had in the industry. Mr. Kamaljit Singh was my college senior as well. So I really hope that we'll have a great show.
It's such a wonderful industry, and the world gets smaller. Smaller yet when you're on screen together. Next in is our good friend from Gandhinagar, Vikas Sood, who's the Complex General Manager for the Leela, Gandhinagar and Mahatma Mandir Convention and Exhibition Center. Welcome to the show, Mr. Sood.
Thank you, Mr. Khanna, for giving this opportunity to us. It's a great platform, and it was a really interesting topic for us to discuss. And that's why we thought that we should also participate in such a new technological discussion which is happening now.
Excellent. So I haven't given you an opportunity. You come by merit. Next in is Taronish Karkaria, who was till the assignment before this was in Delhi. He's the General Manager for the Gandhinagar Resort and Spa. Welcome to the show, Taronish.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khanna. Thank you very much for inviting us and allowing us to be a part of this platform. It's a beautiful topic that we're going to be talking about. So looking forward to having some fun here.
Excellent. Great. Welcome to the show. Last but not the least, last because this is by city and we are now in Surat, Amit Mehta, our third show together. He's the Vice President Operations for the Oro Hotels India and also for the General Manager for the Surat Marriott Hotel. Welcome to the show, Amit.
Thank you, Bhuvanesh, and thank you, team BW Hotelier, for keep inviting me to the show. I think it's a fantastic show, and I'm looking forward to the show. Thank you once again.
All right. So let's get exploring how AI helps predict demand and maximize room pricing strategies. And with your permission, Srinivas, can I get rolling with my first question to set the show on the right
Definitely,
lens?
sir. Let's begin.
Srinivas, AI-driven revenue management is becoming a game changer. Like I did say, it's second skin now. Can you provide insights into how AI is influencing real-time pricing strategies in the Indian hospitality?
Thank you, Mr. Khanna. Let me tell you, when I joined the industry in the late 90s, I think revenue management was in a nascent stage. In fact, a couple of our hotels did not have revenue management.
Oh.
And today, 2.5 decades later, revenue management has actually grown tremendously. And in the last 3 years, AI-enabled revenue management has actually taken over. Today, we've reached such a stage where we can actually predict or your rates for the future based on the demand forecast and see how you can maximize. On a lighter note, the next day you wake up to see your STR numbers and understand whether all your decisions taken for the previous day are right or wrong. So that's the kind of agility we are moving with. And I also want to emphasize on how AI is transforming pricing strategies in the Indian hospitality industry by revolutionizing how hotels and resorts manage their rates in real time. One of the key benefits is dynamic pricing. I'm sure everybody on the call will accept with me on this point. AI analyzes data from demand patterns, local events, and instantly prompts us the rates, helping us to maximize our revenues, whether it's a peak season or a quiet period. And fortunately, thanks to AI-enabled revenue management, today the quieter periods are actually diminishing. And not to forget the fact, AI actually helps us optimize our occupancies and profitability. The other big advantage of AI is it integrates real-time data, including things like weather forecast, local events, and, adjusts our pricing accordingly. This actually helps us to capitalize on high demand dates. I think this level of agility is critical in a competitive market. The biggest advantage is also by using AI, you're upselling and cross-selling your product, which will definitely drive additional revenues to your unit. So the benefits are very significant, but there are challenges such as data quality and system integration, which can be slower in terms of adoption. Many hotels still rely on outdated data and not fully integrate with AI systems. Okay. But to summarize, I would like to say AI is a game changer in the Indian hospitality industry. It's helping us offer smarter real-time pricing, and it is also helping us enhance our revenues, enhance customer experience. Embracing this technology is essential for us to stay competitive in this digital age. This is my submissions.
Yeah, you've summed it up very well, but if I may to ask you, is there any chance or scope to cheat the system? As in fixing?
Not really, but see, when the system actually prompts you a data and you want to override it, there is always an opportunity to do it. For example, if a system is actually trying to tell you that you sell your rooms at 10,000 rupees today, and you still feel that you're not confident about doing it, you can override this. So there is always a manual intervention which is available, But I think if you leave it to the system, the judgment is always right.
Yeah, the system is dispassionate and carries no burden or weight. So it's your show now, Srinivas. Now that we've set the context, why don't you take it ahead from here?
Thank you, Mr. Khanna. My first question today is to Kamaljit. Hi, Kamaljit.
Hi, Srinivas. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My question to you is, how has AI-enabled dynamic pricing improved your repairs? When I say yours, you're in your hotel.
Great. Thank you so much. I think just taking on from where you ended, Srinivas, 2 decades back, there was a different strategy of doing business in the hotel. Today, it's all about optimization, revenues, and STR, lighthouse, rate parities. They somehow have become the old verbiage. And it comes to artificial intelligence. Before I start answering how it's affected my hotel, very recently, it's not been 1 year yet, Hyatt, in fact, introduced a new revenue optimization tool called Hyatt Pro. It actually came off on an offset from Prio, then from Ideas. Now, this tool is, to a certain degree, right up there in terms of AI. It's again feeding in data to get the optimal results. But the factors are so many now, you can actually prepare and assume and analyze data for, let's say, years to come based on years you've gone by. There are thresholds you can put in, there are rate bands, you can put recurring events which are every year. You can even put events which come only bi-yearly. And it's brilliant, right? I mean, Hyatt Pro is superbly brilliant. But coming on from your question directly to me, Ahmedabad, and I'm going to speak only about Ahmedabad, it's a very price-sensitive market. It's actually grown the least in India as per the STR India report. My hotels, RGI and RevPAR, actually has grown about 10 to 12% last 2 years. And I think AI-driven rate bands, the correct decisions which you want to optimize out of it, the fine line balance between occupancy and ADR to have a flow through. This has not become the game of team members on the floor anymore. It's all system driven. It's all data which is analyzed. And I think if we can have a mindset change and use this very, very flexibly and correctly, not only our city or our hotel, I think this should be the way for most hotels. For Ahmedabad, if everyone, all my friends on the panel and everyone else can use a systematic tool and go by it, I think there'll be a day when we will win beyond the consumers who keep pushing us against the wall for rates.
Thank you, Kamaljit. I really look forward to see those days.
Yeah.
And thank you for giving us, prompting us on the revenue management tools which Hyatt is using.
Thank you.
My next question is to Prashant. Hi, Prashant.
Hi, Panditha. How are you?
All well, Prashant. My question to you is, how can AI-driven forecasting help in optimizing corporate and transient business mix?
Question, Srinivas. I think any form of technology, and we've seen it through the years and through the ages, any form of technology that has come into the hospitality industry has only benefited the user and has improved efficiencies and accuracies in the system. So even when it comes to AI in optimizing our corporate and transient business mixes, or our performances on the various sources or segments of business that we have, I think the first thing that it helps us do is improve upon our accuracy. Earlier, our predictions, earlier our revenue meetings, earlier whatever forecasting mechanism we had was very manual, was based on data sheets, was based on what happened a year back, 2 years back, 3 years back, what trends have persisted in the market. And the max we would rely is on how airlines as an ancillary to hospitality are performing. And if the airline rates used to on a particular date be high, we would consider that as a compression coming into the market, and we would rely on their forecasting ability to forecast our rates. But I think ever since AI has transitioned into hospitality and into our revenue management world, it has helped analyze a lot more data that one could have done manually. Look at historical trends in a much more scientific way than was doing when we were doing it manually. In a manual intervention, there is always an emotion attached that if it's a wedding date ABC in the city, probably it will be on the higher side. If there is a mice or a big chunk of group business coming into the city, it could be on a higher side. But that was not always extremely accurate. And like Kamal said, or you said, that next day morning you wake up on the STR, and if the story hasn't been what we had predicted it to be, then we would scratch our backs and figure out where did we go wrong. So I think one big thing that AI does is to improve accuracy for forecasting and optimizing, therefore, our corporate and transient business mix. It helps us determine the demand patterns more accurately, and therefore the forecasts are better. Second thing I think it does is also helps us to optimize the business mix. Today there is a trend which tells us that it's not patented. A hotel is not only running on a retail or a special corporate or a package or a group on different days, different weeks, different months. It's a different story. Restricting the last room available has now become much more easier than it used to be earlier because of artificial intelligence coming in. Pardon me. And the third big point is depicting the future demand. I think 90% of artificial intelligence accuracy is helping us put forward our future demands. And that is why most of us have matrices where our corporate headquarters now tell us that your forecasting shouldn't be off than more than 3-4%. They are also expecting that kind of accuracy, and they know that that accuracy is stemming from all the tools that we have available on the artificial intelligence front, whether it is pickup patterns, whether it is market insights, etc. All these get connected to the distribution channels. So I think, to sum it up, improved accuracy, optimized business mix, and future demand. These are three big ways in which optimizing corporate and transient business mix comes through artificial intelligence.
Thank you, Prashant. You summed it all for us.
Excellent.
Should I move to Saurabh now?
Yeah.
Hi, Saurabh.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Srinivas.
Good evening.
How are you?
All well, Saurabh. Saurabh, my question to you is, can AI help in reducing dependency on the third-party OTAs? And if it is possible, how is it possible?
Well, first of all, this question is very relevant to a city like Ahmedabad, where OTA also plays a very major role. And for us to kind of ensure that we maximize on our direct bookings also plays a crucial part whenever we look at revenue management. I definitely believe that hotels can harness the power of AI in several ways to reduce the dependency on the third-party OTAs. 3 points that I would like to put in here. The AI definitely helps in personalized content. There is immersive virtual tours which are available, and the room level pricing, which is very, very important. And let's talk a bit about personalized content. With RHG Hotels as well. I mean, we partnered with Google to provide the AI-powered contextual translation. And this ensures that all our guests across the world can look into the content in their own preferred languages, which is tailored to their interest as well. We have our website in over, the languages which are there are over 30 languages, which is even more than any other OTAs will provide. Apart from that, the AI-powered the websites which are there, they actively learn from every interaction which they have between the hotel and the website visitor, which provides the kind of customized cross-sell and upsell to any visitor who's visiting any website or the app of the hotel. Let's take an example. If there is an Indian traveler who's traveling to UAE, possibly based on the past trends and behavior, the website will offer information and packages based on the nationality. let's say for an Indian traveler, they will show more of the Indian restaurant options and the kind of length of stay which they had in past. The information and the packages will be based on that, which definitely helps in kind of increasing the conversion rate as well. Apart from that, very interestingly, this immersive virtual tours which are there, we at RSG are using Headbox's AI-powered Metapod cameras, which is a new technology which is there, which really helps in creating the 360-degree virtual tours. And these tours are very rare in any of the leading OTAs as well. It definitely offers the engaging and intuitive ways for our guests to explore our property. Also, it is embedded on the website, which helps them book real time. Apart from that, when we look at the room level pricing, and this is something which is very, very interesting. It's not right now there in India, but with RSG also, we are piloting one of our hotel in Europe, which is the hotel versus AI generated digital twin. This is a very innovative approach which allows the guest actually to look at the dollhouse image of a particular hotel or a resort. And let's say if you're traveling to Goa and you look at the image of the hotel and you know that there's a particular room which is overlooking the beach or overlooking the garden, and you want to book that particular room, it allows you to go to that room and virtually book that room. So that definitely has an edge over the OTAs. To sum it up, I think these 3 points, which is the personalized options which the customers will get, the immersive virtual tours, what you have on AI-powered websites, and room level pricing will definitely help the hotels to shift from OTAs and increase their direct business by around 20-25%.
Thanks, Saurabh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for actually briefing on the virtual tours and deciding rooms based on the tours. I don't think many of us are doing it. So it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think something to look forward.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, my next question is to Vikas. Hi, Vikas.
Hi, Panditha.
Vikas, how does AI integrate with guest personalization to maximize revenues?
So I take you through that I'm just talking casually at this point of time that you usually talk in your family, you talk to your friends. AI has got into your personal life so much that today you can't separate out AI apart from your life. So we are talking about now coming to the hospitality where AI can improvise your enhancing personalization, efficiencies, and convenience to the guest. It's all the more important for hospitality to also integrate with an AI and help our customer experience go to the next level. And technology is the next level that it can't happen with only with the physical guys standing over there, but it's going to be time taken. So it's a consolidation platform where you can make some travel packages, you can customize the menus, you can put your diet preferences. Nowadays, the emotional intelligence is coming in question where you look at the mood of the guest and the menu is being made or what you want, or what kind of a place you want to visit. It's a kind of a business that we are in. Since we are in a MICE business, it's all the more important because there are various kind of MICE business that we do. We have medical tourism, you have associations, you have exhibitions, you have religious tourism, you have all kind of a clientele which is coming in. Sports, that's the next step right now, which is happening in Ahmedabad. So it's a kind of an emotional attachment that is coming in, and all the more important for us to personalize a guest. It all the more important for the guest who's visiting us in a place where you have 5,000 people coming to the city. What do they do? The AI helps in developing itineraries for the guests, organizes what kind of a transportation, how much time is going to take in, what kind of a food preferences that you can go nearby. What are the places that you can go? We have a lot of areas which is explored in Ahmedabad, in Tri-City, I would say, Gift City, Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar, that we can explore for our guests. We can do in-room lighting, thermostat setting for that. There are various booking engines which can upsell. For example, you want to book a spa, you have a customized menus for spa right now. I was just speaking to my spa manager a while ago, saying that what kind of a customization can we do for our wellness for our guests. So it can customize on that platform. I would say also it helps a hotel to enhance their customer satisfaction because it brings in all the negative or positive feedbacks, look at it, how we can improve upon it, where we can look after that, which are the areas which can explore. A platform, I would say, like in Spalva, we were talking about maximizing revenue. A Spalva kind of a platform that Leela enhances, saying that you can book your venue. What right now Kamaljit and Saurabh was discussing about it, that you can book in a venue, you can plan your whether you want a round table, you want a classroom, you want a how much venue space do you require? Do you require more space? So it helps an organizer sitting in London or in US to book a venue as per your choices. So there are various things that AI can consolidate together. I'm also it takes a data-driven decision making for a hotel to also helps revenue manager and the general manager to take decisions, which we're talking about dynamic pricing and positioning our hotel's reputation accordingly.
Thank you, Vikas. My next question is to Taronish. Hi, Taronish.
Good evening, Mr. Lahari. How are you doing?
All well.
Yeah.
How can AI-driven sentiment analysis influence pricing strategies in luxury resorts?
So I'd like to just begin by saying that, we've today reached a zone where sentiments of people are being analyzed by machines. And 20 years ago, it was done by a bunch of people around a coffee table. Now, there's a huge confluence between AI and the effort that goes behind in implementing these tools. So I'd like to say, the AI is a knowledge which, for instance, knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit. However, wisdom would be knowing that you can't put that in a fruit salad. And that's as good as what AI does to you. AI has the platform, it has all the knowledge that it can give you. But what you do with that as a human effort, where you come in, is what is of primary importance. So sentiment analysis is also one such part. And what happens in sentiment analysis is AI today can give you customer feedback monitoring. So when you are looking at customer feedback, it can tell you the positive aspects or the negative aspects, and where you need to roll in your services to make sure that the positive aspects are then pushed, and dynamic pricing is pushed in such a way where you can maximize on your pricing in terms of any sort of services. Sentiment analysis will also help you in competitor analysis, which also tells you that how your competitors are doing. You get to know the customers and sentiment about a particular competition, about a particular set of services, which perhaps you could implement. That now drives a higher pricing for your resort. That now could perhaps drive another service excellence for your hotel to implement. One other part where I would like to bring in a point is demand forecasting, which is also a very important part of sentiment analysis. Having a combination of historical booking data and, sentiment analysis today is telling you how and what your demand would be in the market. So considering what your demand is, you could choose as you wish. That is where you come in, as you rightly mentioned. When you come in, your judgment really matters. You can go by what the system tells you, but actually implementing it in terms of sentiments in the market is something where you'll always have a 50-50% chance. Today's data actually proves 90-95% of the times the analysis given to you by your sentiment analysis of your system is actually true. Personalized pricing is also another part where sentiment analysis works for honeymooners, for corporate guests, for wellness tourism that could take place. People understand what you require. Hotels are able to make new packages. Hotels are able to market those packages, and these all are done in the same hotel, maybe in the same time period, but at different pricing, only so as to maximize your revenue. And of course, real-time pricing adjustments we've seen in the last 2 years. We had Vibrant Gujarat, we had India, Pakistan, we had all the other big city events that took place. We know the demand is going to go up. We know what we need to do during that period. That sentiment is anyway captured by AI, and hotels actually make sure that on these demand dates, we capitalize as much as we can. So that proving that sentiment analysis influence any sort of strategy in pricing, not just in resorts, but even in hotels across the board.
Thank you, Taronish. Thank you for throwing some light on sentiment analysis. Hi, Amit. My next question is for you.
Srini.
Yeah. Amit, how can AI-driven revenue management ensure profitability in an economic downturn? Very interesting question.
Srini, thank you so much. I think economic cycle is something that when it comes to economic cycle, when it comes to expansion and peak, we all love it. But when it comes to contraction, that's when we start getting worried. So as Srini also already mentioned, Srini and I come from a time in the late 90s when revenue management was at a very nascent stage. Revenue management was just coming into the hotels and we were trying to learn revenue management. So what used to happen that time was if there is a economic downturn, we used to say, drop your prices, get whatever business you're getting to fill the hotel. But fortunately for us now, with AI coming in so strongly, what is happening is that AI is such an intelligent tool. It uses algorithms, it uses data patterns, it uses computing power. So what happens with that is it gives you so much of real-time data. And what happens with the data today is it gives us as operators of big assets around the world an opportunity to maximize our revenue without cannibalizing our existing business. Because a lot of times we don't realize that by dropping my prices or by doing something which is counterproductive and cannibalizing my business. So what AI is doing today is it is making me realize that price elasticity is something which is very important to adjust my rates and maximize my ADR and occupancies. Also, what today I can do with AI is I can offer a very personalized pricing to somebody based on the customer's behavior, how the customer is behaving, what is the loyalty of that customer towards my brand today, and what is the booking pattern that the customer has been using for me. And what it does to us is that I can do a very targeted promotion, which I was not really able to do it earlier. So today, if I have to look at a high value customer, I don't need to drop my prices for a high value customer. I just need to look at what that customer needs. Is he wanting something which is very, very exclusive, which I can provide, which really helps me in creating my profitability and taking my profitability higher up? Also, it helps me identify earlier what we used to do, Srini, if you remember, and few of my friends, we used to send people to other hotels to find out data. सुबह lobby में भेज देते थे कि भाई go to the banquet boards and check what are the functions happening in those hotels. And we'll call up duty manager and saying, what was your occupancy last night? But today, what has happened with AI is that it is giving me an opportunity to identify gaps that my competitors have. And once I know the gaps that my competitor has, I have a huge potential to fill that gap. And the day you start filling the gap which your competitor is not able to provide, you are in a situation where you're making more money than others. So it helps you in adjusting your strategies. It helps you in being very data-driven and not being reactive. So what happens with that is because we are real-time data, I can be data-driven. I am not reactive. My promotional strategies are very automated. And I am putting my strategies based on demand pillars. All my demand pillars they're integrated in AI, which is giving me an opportunity to optimize what I want to do. And based on that, I can also reduce my dependency on OTAs. Because if I can use my direct booking channels to create more business for our asset, it is always better because your profitability will always be higher compared to getting channelized through an OTA. Also, of course, AI helps you in operational expenses and not in India, because in India today, my payroll cost is somewhat fixed in majority of the hotels. But when we look at our US operations, in the US, payroll becomes a very important factor and labor cost is very, very important. So in our US operations, what AI is giving us an opportunity is it is helping me in optimizing my labor cost, because 60% of my labor cost is depending on my business. So that's another opportunity which AI has given us to optimize. So what AI today has done is it has given me a strength to have a very smarter pricing decision, which I can use as a tool. I can target the right customer, because when there is economic downturn, then you need to understand that you need to first understand who's your customer. If your customer is the same, or he and she is ready to pay that price, if you reduce your rates, you are only cannibalizing your existing business. So that's something that AI helps me, because I'm targeting my right customer. And of course, it is making me reduce my operational inefficiencies in the system, whether it is due to my expenses, whether it is due to my labor cost, or whether it is due to me paying more money to the OTAs. So I think it's a fantastic tool. I love the tool. And we at Marriott have been really using it well, and it is only going to get better for all of us. So I think we are in a very interesting time today with AI. So I think that's what I feel, Srini.
Thank you, Amit. Very well said.
But he's made a very good point, but I worry about the poor customer. When will the AI assist the customer? Looking at
Mr.
it,
Khanna, AI is already assisting the customer. You put a budget and you ask for AI to plan a travel plan for you, make a travel itinerary for you. Whatever amount you fix, it throws a plan accordingly. So the customer is always anyways getting benefited there.
Excellent. All right. So we're now about 8 minutes of time. We'll try and cover it in the next part. I'll take a short 30-second commercial break and come back. Thank you, Diversey, for supporting the industry and the BW Hotelier GM show. Your support helps us to reach the deep and furthest corners of this subcontinent and beyond. It's extremely important for us to reach out to general managers and showcase every word that they speak on topics which are extremely important, like the one on AI in this session. That brings me back to you, Srini. If I was to ask you your second question, we've had a wonderful discussion. I mean, from forecasting to revenue to rates, everything has been spoken about in the first half. Tell me, with AI playing a pivotal role in forecasting demand, you as somebody who's lording over the entire state and all the hotels there, how can Indian hotels ensure that they are leveraging it effectively to maintain a competitive edge?
Mr. Khanna, to maintain a competitive edge, I think what we should immediately do is invest in the AI tools, which helps us, do the pricing and demand analysis. I think we should also use real-time data to adjust our rates dynamically. Many a times we ignore considering the external factors like, holidays, city-based events. I think that's something which we should start considering, and in smaller towns especially. Personalizing pricing based on the guest behavior, like what Amit said. Monitor and adjust AI systems for accuracy and integrate AI with hotel operations. Now, the other important thing is you might have the best of the AI tools with you, but if you don't train your staff to use it properly or effectively, you may not optimize to the extent you might want to. I think we should do that immediately, because industry is also having a lot of churn out in terms of people. I think getting the right modules in place to train people to handle these revenue management tools is very important. The other thing is we continue to track competitive pricing so that you stay competitive. And I think we should start listening to our customers as well for fine-tuning our pricing strategy. I think if we are able to do all these things, we can stay competitive and continue boosting our revenues.
Excellent. Now that you've brought us thus far, let's take on the session and let me hand it back to you. But a quick rain check. We have 18 minutes to the show. So let's try and do every response within about 2.5 minutes. Cheers.
Sure, Mr. Khanna. So again, let me start with Kamaljit again. Kamaljit, what challenges do hoteliers face while transitioning from traditional revenue management to AI-driven models?
Oh, I'm going to thank you, Srinivas. I'm going to actually speak a little bit on everyone's behalf of sometimes the mornings and afternoon evenings we have with our team and revenue management sales, right? I think I will pick up from the first point of mine, which is the mindset, and also pick up two of, I won't exactly put them principles, but the way of thinking and the way forward of Hyatt for this current year. One is agility, and playing the game differently. How many times did we go back to the cliche of saying, guys, let's do outside of the box thinking, right? And then we say, how do you play the game differently? And I'm sure all of us, right? Learning, understanding, inculcating the whole culture that we all become business acumen, right? It's so important that we have to move on, right? The traditional way was good or bad, that's the past. Today, the world is running very fast. Our consumers want answers very, very fast. And if you don't use data analytics, and if you don't have your pulse on everything which is happening around you in the world, you will be left behind in the race. So unfortunately, and fortunately, in both the cases, if you can muster up the courage to say, listen, I'm going to find the fine line of understanding what's the real business sense today. Make sure the expectations and the aspirations of your team, owners, and the guests are all taken care of. And that's the mindset culture change. And we have to accept that fact. And we'll have to make sure that our team members with daily mentoring and coachings also understand these whole nuances, that we are going to be very, very analytical with empathy to run our businesses.
Thank you, Kamaljit. I think you spoke your heart out.
Haven't we all on this call?
Prashant, my next question is to you. How does AI assist in identifying and mitigate revenue leakage points in hotel operations?
Interesting question, Srini. I don't think so that, there are revenue leakages, but obviously it adds to the potential of garnering more revenue. And why this happens is that, to me, the biggest revenue leakage is the uncertainty of a customer who has booked with us, who we have reconfirmed with, our reservations as reconfirmed with, whatever different mechanisms of confirmations we have, we've done that. And yet that customer does not come in. And then, we figure out whether he's a corporate guy and we can charge him a retention or a no-show. And then we have long faces in the morning, sales team wanting to tell us, listen, let him go for this time and we'll charge it the next time, so long and so forth. So I think more than the revenue leakage, artificial intelligence has now started giving us a better trend on how these bookings and these confirmations result in what kind of a percentage or what kind of numbers of people who on a same day basis are cancelling or were confirmed and haven't come into the city or haven't traveled. So that trend of a percentage of transient cancellation, that trend of the percentage of a no-show, that trend of how AI is able to predict the early departures, late checkouts, so that my teams can take the inventory to a minus position, which is more scientific than running around from the airport, figuring out with duty managers in the night, can you give me a room, can you give me a room, listen, don't price me this, price me that, and then dealing with the credit teams the next day that, listen, I have a credit with the other hotel and we need to pay them upfront, etc., etc. So So I think that AI has been able to really help us tone down, and with more accuracy, we are able to yield better. With more accuracy, we know exactly on a given date what will be the trend in the city on cancellations and the availability of rooms, etc. So more from a perspective of revenue leakage, I think it's a better tool or a better methodology now to yield better and to potentialize revenue on those certain great dates in the month.
Thank you, Prashant. Let's move to Saurabh now. We just have 13 minutes to complete this call. So I think Mr. Khanna has given us a deadline. So let's try and see how we can finish this. How does AI optimize revenue beyond room rates, Saurabh, such as F&B and banquet pricing?
Right. Thank you, Mr. Srinivas, for this question. Well, coming from F&B background, I seriously wish that we had some of these solutions when we were working in F&B. But I mean, it is now as well as this is F&B is very critical part of any hotel. There are AI-driven MICE solutions which are available as well. So I was talking about Headbox. Headbox is another platform which is developing AI-powered, localized and customized virtual guided tours with a voiceover in multiple languages. These tours definitely improves transparency and enhance the response time via 3D studios, helping convert the MICE leads really quickly. So imagine, I mean, you're on a virtual tour and you look at a particular banquet hall and the kind of setup you need, which Vikas was also mentioning while he was commenting in the previous half. You see a banquet hall in a particular fashion. You have props which are virtually available. You set it up the way you want, and real time you raise a query for that, and which is responded to you really quickly. Most of the time in banquets, when we lose our queries, it is because of the response time. So this will really allow hotels to have a solution on that and have conversion rate better when it comes to the banquet queries as well. For R&D, also interestingly, there are smart menus which are available now. And when we talk about smart menus, it gives you the kind of solutions what you already possibly have for rooms. Let's say you talk about Lighthouse, where you have the weekday and weekend rates and trends and all, which is available for you for rooms. This provides you exactly the weekday, weekend trends for the F&B, and it changes the menu pricing. So it effectively maximizes the restaurant profitability through dynamic pricing, which possibly people have never thought of it in F&B before. It also adjusts the price to get the most out of the peak demand times. Menu engineering, which we all possibly, I mean, there are systems available to do menu engineering, but these are AI-based menu engineering solutions, which actually, based on dish popularity and contribution margin and all, it actually increases or decreases the price or sell exactly the dish which you want to sell in the restaurant. It also has the options for upsell and cross-sell. And the data shows that wherever, I mean, in our hotel, as of now, it is not implemented. There's a company called Dynamite, which is actually coming up with these kind of menus. And the data says that it can increase the R&B sale to around 25 to 30%. So it's a great thing and great times ahead, I must say, for F&B as well, when you talk about the AI's role in F&B.
Well said, Saurabh. I think we should quickly embrace this so that we can maximize revenues in our F&B spaces.
Absolutely.
Vikas, my question to you is, can AI help forecast and optimize room pricing for MICE?
Yes, I have the biggest problem in hand because I have a big box to sell, and as well as the hotel which is right next door to the box. And what we do is that we program our events, which is almost 4 years from now. So it's a bigger problem in hand. It's not about optimizing the revenues and the room rates for this year. It's also for next 4 years, because there are conferences which is coming in for 5,000 people or 2,000 people, varying from that. We would like to have rooms. What is our revenue will be there? What is the room rates which will be positioning our hotel as against the competition? So AI is still exploring that option. It's going for the year in the year or maybe the next year. But from the past to next 4 years, it's very difficult to optimize that. And that's where we are working around with the tools that how do I optimize my room revenues as against the ADRs, or what ADR, because we have revenue, we have venues to sell plus the rooms to sell. So it's a complex situation for MICE destinations usually. It's not like usual situations for only hotels to sell the rooms part of it. So AI actually helps in the booking patterns of the previous events, of what is the pattern, the events which you're bringing to the city, what kind of a revenue they have generated for the entire city, the rooms, and also for the venues hosting the hotel or the rooms where they are staying in, or what kind of a revenue was been there, not sacrificing the profitability margin of the hotel, but also strategizing well and do a value added packages that you have. There are various tools that you can incorporate. We use ideas, D3 revenue, we do Lighthouse, we do OTA inside, we do Agency 360, we do powered BI tools, which are high performance analytics tools, which the revenue managers nowadays works on statistics rather than only perceptions. So it's important that we go on statistics and take decisions wisely and help the general managers to also maximize the revenue for the hotel and build up a reputation that we are not overcharging a client, but also maximizing of what we want to deliver, and ensuring that our guest experience is not hampered with that. So it's a value for proposition what we make as a whole.
Thank you, Vikas. It's also nice to hear that you're getting inquiries for the next 2-3 years. So
Absolutely.
probably you can share the dates with us. We'll block our calendars as well.
Kamal is talking about 4 years.
Taronish, my friend, how does AI contribute to enhancing direct bookings and reducing commission costs?
So in a way, AI does reduce your commission costs. That's only if you use this propaganda correctly. To begin with, tailored personalized experiences. If we do something like this for our guests, we understand the guest behavior, their booking behavior, their preferences. If we are able to bring about something like this on our websites, and that is exactly what we've been doing here at Gandhinagar as well. We realize that there is a scope for enough amount of wellness tourism and for religious tourism. That's the reason why we have even gotten on board to launch some packages on wellness, because we know people are interested in such sort of bookings, the reason why they won't go through an OTA. We have, for instance, Soulful Abodes is a package that, we have done as a Taj, because we understand that religious tourism is something really big, and I have a very popular temple which is close by. The reason why a lot of demand comes in over here through that one package. I think another part is targeted marketing and advertising, which also helps in increasing direct bookings. Today, as of now, in today's world, we do geo-targeting, we can do social media targeting on some numbers, we can do it on a specific geolocation, which allows those people from that location to be, procured and to pull those people towards your hotel. Now, that targeted marketing efforts will allow us to have direct bookings via your social media or any such method, avoiding any sort of OTAs. AI on our website, we have a chat bot which we can obviously speak with. Guests are finding it easier. I mean, who knew today you can book rooms through WhatsApp in some of hotel organizations, and they find it so much easier to do it on WhatsApp, and they find it so much easier to reach out to you, because the person who is speaking to you right now, the bot is able to clarify any sort of questions that you have, avoiding any sort of infiltration to your real time of your associates in reservations making calls. Today AI has also come to a point where reducing cart abandonment is also another part, where you can actually see guests and customers who have actually gone online, who have gone through 3/4 of the booking process and have not gone through the last part, which is payment. Now, having this data with you allows you to call these people, to reach out to these people, to perhaps give them some sort of flexibility in pricing so that you can close this kind of business. This itself amounts to about 2 to 4% if you utilize this one part of, cart abandonment. And most importantly, I think having great content on your website, pushing your direct bookings, I think, and strengthening brand presence is something which is very, very important for any company, for any hotel to do. because that is the only method that actually reduces your commissions. It enables personalized experiences. It optimizes your prices, and more so, your customer interactions remain evergreen. At no point are you just relying on an OTA. Though OTA business is great and it is actually very important for hotels here, and especially Ahmedabad, I think there is huge scope for us to build on our brand websites and on our social media platforms and use these tools in order to get direct bookings and not pay commissions.
Thank you, Taronish. Great inputs. The last question for the evening to my good old friend Amit. How can AI be leveraged to balance room occupancy rates and ADR efficiently?
Okay, thanks, Srini. Mr. Khanna, last in the roll call, no, always everything is already been spoken by the time that you start speaking. But I think what happens with AI today is AI is a very intelligent way of handling your data. It looks at your historical data. It looks at your booking trends. It looks at your competitors' pricing. It looks at your demand forecast. It looks at real-time events, what Srini said. It looks at weather. It looks at your local events in the city, whatever is happening in the city. So it's a very wholesome system which culls out data which is far superior than sometimes we've been using in the past. So what helps with that is, first thing that you can do is you can do dynamic pricing. Dynamic pricing can be based on demand optimization. Because a lot of times we feel that we've underpriced our product or we've overpriced our product. So I think demand optimization is something that helps because of dynamic pricing. AI makes you do that. Also, what AI is helping us do is it is making us a very targeted way of looking at our segments. If I have a high paying customer, who's my premium customer, and who's ready to pay me a high ADR, what it can show me is that customer looking for a value add-on. He or she is not looking for a price reduction. Might be he or she is only looking for a value add-on. If I have a leisure customer, what are they looking for? Are they looking for an attractive package? If I have a price sensitive customer, he or she is looking for a bundled packaging. So AI is able to give me that segment wise analysis and data by which I can take a decision. So it's very, very smart of taking a decision. Then occupancy optimization happens because my overbooking strategies now are becoming more smarter. I can use my room category sold in a far better way than I could have done if I was not using AI to the true potential. Am I doing my mix right? Am I selling my non-qualified special corporate business in the right way? Or am I selling my group business more than what I'll be doing my transient business? So it's something that I need to do. Channel management is something that AI is helping me do today. I can see which platform is performing well for my asset, and I can really optimize on that platform. I can see which platform is not performing well, and I can look at doing something for that platform, or if it is not the right platform, to come out of that. Then my friend Taro said, geo-targeting. Geo-targeting is very important because I know from where I'm getting my highest conversions. If my highest conversion is coming from a specific zone, am I targeting that zone in the right manner or not? So that's something that I am getting information today. And I'm able to real time adjust my pricing based on that. I can identify the gaps in my market. If I can identify my gaps, I can optimize my ADR, I can optimize my occupancy, I can optimize my revenue. So again, that's very, very important. I can see if my competitor is changing his rules in real time. If my competitor is changing his pricing, my competitor is changing something, I can immediately come to know, and I can take course correction without waiting for the next morning, and I can immediately take action against it. It's a fantastic tool. So what AI has done today is it is helping us avoid deep discounting, because sometimes we do deep discounting without realizing whether it's helping my business or not. Then I am able to do demand-driven pricing, which again is something that helps me in optimizing my occupancies, ADR, and of course, maximize my revenue. So there's a lot that AI is helping us, and I'm sure the future is phenomenal. It'll only get better. So that's my take on it, Srini.
Srini, did he
Thank you,
say
Amit.
that he-
Well said.
Did he say that all the speakers have spoken? He doesn't have much to speak.
How do you know so many years?
Anyway, this was very, very nice. You know, for all those people who are going to watch this show, this is some kind of a Bible for everybody to get answers to questions that they've had and they've not got them. Look, Google doesn't tell you everything. There is a human interface, and this is it. So, Srini, this has been a great session. Why don't we do a quick 2-minute quiz? Gentlemen, raise your hand. Give us no sentences, just short 1 or 2 word responses. Srini, over to you, Srinivas.
Okay. I've got a couple of questions. Let's see who goes first. What percentage of Indian hotels have adopted AI-driven dynamic pricing models as of 2024?
Percentages. Bolo.
Just the percentage. Amit has raised his hand. Yes, Amit.
I think it should be about 75 to 80% of the hotels must have done something with AI by now.
Percentage बोलनी है बस.
80%, 75 to 80%.
चलो जी, सौरभ.
Around 75%.
और कौन बोल रहा है?
I would say it's only 40%.
Okay,
You're
Taronish.
getting it right.
Yeah, I would say about 30%.
Okay,
35%.
Taronish said 30%.
It's 35 to 40% actually. When we say Indian hotels, we're actually including all segments of hotels here.
All of them.
Okay, my next question is, which Indian state recorded the highest number of domestic tourists in 2023? Not 24, not 25, 2023.
Bolo.
Tamil Nadu.
Yes, you got it right. And
Google किया है.
last year, 2024 was Uttar Pradesh.
It has to be
Just
Tamil
for-
Nadu because it has a combination of beaches, hill stations, culture, temples, everything. All tick boxes of
Everything.
tourism
And technology.
and technology.
Why don't we slip in one more question?
One more question before we wind off. What percentage of global travelers are now comfortable with AI-driven personalized pricing and offers in hotels? What percentage of global travelers are now comfortable
Approximate.
with AI-driven personalized pricing and offers in hotels?
Percent, Srini? 40
Yeah,
to 40?
just
50%.
Amit, I didn't hear you.
40%?
Okay.
80%.
Anybody else?
Taronish and Kamal.
About
Yeah, it's
65%.
higher. I think it was 55, 60 because you have the NRI market and they're pretty much using AI all the time.
Yes, it's
Okay,
about
Taronish-
60%.
Taronish भी बोल रहा है.
Taronish also, okay, I didn't notice him.
Taronish.
Okay,
बोल
so
Taronish.
if you permit, let me bring this show to an end today, Mr. Khanna. Thank you
Please
very
go.
much. It has been fantastic discussing on the role of AI in revenue management. And in fact, I've made some notes. I want to quickly read this out before we wind off today. Kamaljit, thank you for emphasizing on the impact of AI on revenue management and also on RevPAR, and you also highlighted challenges in transitioning from traditional models. Prashant, you discussed about AI's role in optimizing the corporate and transient business mix and in mitigating revenue leakages. That was fantastic. Saurabh, you threw some light on insights into AI optimizing revenue beyond room rates. Vikas, you shared points on how AI enhances guest personalization and assists in MICE pricing strategies. Thanks a lot for your time. Taronish, thank you very much for explaining how.
Even Taronish explained how AI-driven sentiment.
Yeah, I was coming to that, Mr. Khanna.
Yeah.
Taronish actually spoke well about AI-driven sentiment analysis and how it can shape pricing in luxury resorts and boost direct bookings. And Amit, in fact, in the little time he got, he managed to say quite a bit, and he explained how AI can ensure profitability during downturns and help maintain an optimal balance between occupancy and ADR. Gentlemen, it was great interacting with each one of you. I think I've shared this platform with the powerhouse of the Gujarat hospitality sector. Thank you. I'm sure we're going to be meeting quite often, but this was a great platform. Thank you, Mr. Khanna, for creating this platform for all of us.
No, it's I was told, why don't you do this in person? The virtual platform makes it convenient for general managers to agree and to meet. And from the convenience of their office, and the reach is huge. And I am able to get to all corners of the subcontinent. Having said that, this brings us to the end of another insightful episode. Thank you, Srinivas, for moderating this insightful discussion. I was looking forward to you holding the reins. And a big thank you to all of you for sharing your expertise and your valuable perspectives. To our audience, we hope you found today's discussion on AI-driven revenue management both engaging and enlightening. Stay tuned for the next episode, which is going to be there in a flat 23 minutes. Before I close the show, I want to thank Diversey. I also want to thank Team BW and Team BW Hotelier. They are the ones who slog midnight to morning, and they bring out shows back to back. I'm just the front face, right? And they do all the curation. They do the entire content. They do the entire planning. And thank you all. And also a huge thank you to Diversey. Diversey. Thank you, Diversey, and thank you, gentlemen. Srinivas, thank you. Kamaljit.
Thank you, Mr. Khanna.
Thank you, sir.
Saurabh, Vikas, Taronish.
Thank you.
Amit,
Thank you,
Mehta.
everyone.
It's been wonderful having you all on show.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for being there. And see you back soon again. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a
Mr.
good
Thank you
evening,
so much.
everyone. Take care.
Have a nice day.
And also this show, there's one which follows this one in another 20 minutes. And next week, we close the series, close the season till we come back the next year.